The Sphere was a construction that started in 2018 and finally finished in September 2023. U2 were the first people to play in the Sphere. When the audience walks in, they were met with some sort of cave built with large stone slabs with an opening at the top of the ceiling. A choral intro sets the atmosphere for the night. Bono, their infamous frontman, begins with a Shano, a form of ancient singing style by the Irish. His voice echoes throughout the room. Arena? Stadium? He kneels down and puts on a pair of shades. The thunderous drums begin to crumble the stones. Zoo Station. The Edge's repetitive riff joins in. The cave begins to split open, with what seems to be television interference growing from inside. Bono spins around the turntable at the centre of the stage, all while singing the opener, Zoo Station. The shows they're playing are advertised as the Achtung Baby residency, so it's assumed they would play all of the tunes from their sixth record, Achtung Baby. The screens disappear one by one as the words, "Everything you know is wrong," is spread across the sphere. The band begins The Fly. The lyrics are satirical and dark, a true embodiment of their 90s era. Willie Williams, the director of the show, shows the true capabilities of a 360-degree screen and brings the screens in, forming a cube with just words. He brings back in a cylindrical shape with random letters and numbers that are sprawled, surrounding the audience. The characters keep growing into the sky, going on forever. They start to change shape though, back into a cube, showing the power of perspective and the sphere. This happens just as the roof starts collapsing in on the audience, which is one of the highlights of the night. The subliminal messages come back just in time for the climax of the song. Bono jeers with the crowd.
Who are we? I know who you are. You're Adam Clayton. You're the Edge, right? Who the hell are you?
The band begins even better than the real thing, as the kingdom of Elvis Presley scrolls throughout the sphere. Bono's always had a deep admiration for the king of rock and roll, mentioning him in many songs.
Elvis, white trash. Elvis.
It's easy to get dizzy amongst the imagery that keeps scrolling and moving. The band begins Mysterious Ways, the second single from Achtung Baby. The band scales it back in terms of visuals, as Clayton's bass does most of the grooving itself. Like almost every U2 song, the lyrics can be interpreted in many different ways. Typical love and romance, or religious allegories. The Edge helps out with backing vocals, and of course gets to let out a signature Edge solo. On the original tour for Achtung Baby, the band got to dance with belly dancers, which is where Edge actually met his wife, Molly Steinberg. The simple 4-chord intro brings us into their third most streamed song, One, which was the first song written during the Achtung Baby sessions after the band was struggling with their direction.
It was one of those hairs on the back of your neck moments.
You can get the piano in, Edge. That helped with the last time. And I'd like to hear Edge.
Die-hard U2 fans and haters alike all can recognise the band's talent on this track. It's quintessential U2. As the outro comes, he snippets Purple Rain by Prince. Following it with Love Me Tender by Elvis Presley. As 60s imagery is shown on the billboards, including JFK, rocket launches, and the Earth. There are flashes of lightning because they're playing Until the End of the World. one of their strongest songs as a band. Of course, it's filled with religious motifs, focusing on Judas's betrayal of Jesus. It's got the signature edge guitar sound that everyone loves to reference. The four lights mimic the effect of lightning on the crowd. The billboards move out the way as a burning flag rises up, giving a dramatic conclusion to the song. The fire begins to go out as embers begin to fall on the audience. Who's Gonna Ride Your Wild Horses? With the guitar clearly influenced by 90s shoegaze, persisting bass and drums, and Bono singing about love. During the final third of the song, the screen's completely cut out, with a rope being dragged up to the ceiling. Trying to throw your arms around the world. Bono asks the audience if they want to go on a walk. He invites an audience member onto the stage, in old school Bono fashion, and sings a love song directly to her. She begins to swing directly on the rope, and he kisses her on the hand. Bono's been dancing with fans on the stage for years now, dating back to the early 80s. The band begins a newer rendition of All I Want Is You, the first track from Rattle and Hum of the Night.
You want diamonds on a ring of gold.
Their longtime drummer and founder of the band had to sit out on this tour due to getting surgery for his back. There is only one proper U2 gig they played without a core member.
U2 delayed the start of the show in the hope bass guitarist Adam Clayton would be well enough to play, but he was struck down with a 24-hour bug. It's the first time in the band's 18-year history that they've performed without one of the members.
Fortunately, Bram Vandenberg, on his birthday, began his stint with the band.
It is Bram Vandenberg.
He begins the Bo Diddley-inspired beat for Desire, another tune from their fifth album, Rattle and Hum. Bono even brings out the harmonica for the outro, upon going into a classic Beatles song, Love Me Do. Bono takes the piss of his 28-year-old self.
This is not a song we wrote from the Beatles. Actually, we wrote it from Bob Dylan.
It's a song Charles Manson stole from the Beatles. We're stealing it back.
They then begin playing Angel of Harlem, dedicated to Billie Holiday.
Cold and wet December day. You touch the ground at JFK. Snows mounting all around. BLS, I heard the sound.
After the audience sings the song back at the band, Bono does what Bono does best in covering more songs. He covers Irish's own Van Morrison in Into the Mystic, until instructing Adam to begin playing Dancing in the Moonlight by another Irish act, Thin Lizzy.
Did you play Moonlight? Hold on.
With the rest of the band following with the impromptu song.
Dancing in the moonlight. This long, hot summer night.
Edge begins the bass riff to Love Rescue Me, which hasn't been performed since 2011. Willie Williams, who's been the show director for U2 since the 80s,
For 40 years, I've been U2's creative director.
confirmed with me in an email that there were 4 original albums that were planned for the acoustic section: Rattle and Hum, Unforgettable Fire, All That You Can't Leave Behind, and War. Williams stated, "The tricky part is trying to do this with an album whose big hits are already in the set list. You'd either have to drop them from the main set, which would trash the visual flow, or not play them in the acoustic section, which would pretty much defeat the point. Piano intro for their next song, So Cruel, is introduced. A song that has only been played thrice before tonight, 31 years ago the very same month. After the emotional ballad, the turntable lights up and the band begins one of their heaviest songs, Acrobat. The song was never performed during the original Zoo TV tour, except for the Hershey rehearsals, where it was used as an intro to Zoo Station. After waiting 27 years, the band finally debuted on the Experience and Innocence tour in 2018.
You just close your eyes. You can feel the enemy.
The band has shuffled around the order of the album to reflect more closely of their Zoo TV tour, with the beginning 8 songs staying the same as the tour, but the final 3 songs reflecting more accurately of the album. The slow intro begins for Ultraviolet, Light My Way.
Sometimes I feel like I don't know. Sometimes I feel like chicken out.
The screen is finally used again, with flames flashing across the stage. Is it underwhelming compared to the first few songs? Yes. But you've also got to remember, there's a band playing as well. Bono continues chanting the refrain until the eerie intro to the closer, Love Is Blindness, comes in. The song was written as a response to the Edge's divorce. The deep blue on the screen is slowly filled with a variety of insects. The band leaves the stage one by one as Bono sings out Viva Las Vegas, the final Elvis snippet of the night. After several moments, the chorus of their 2000 hit Elevation is played over the speakers as the band enters the stage. It's pretty hard to find a setlist after the year 2000 that Elevation is not played on. Their 10th album, All That You Can't Leave Behind, spawned many singles in their back-to-basics approach, including Elevation. During the outro, Bono, of course, snippets another song. This time, it's My Way.
But more, much more than this, I did it more.
The insects fly off the screens to reveal Las Vegas. Adam and Bram begin the debut performance of Atomic City.
Need to see your hands.
Bono calls back to earlier in the night and makes fun of his own Spanish.
What's Spanish for look?
He clearly needs lessons. Look, he may not know Spanish, but fortunately his bandmates know how to write a chorus or two. Vertigo is a setlist staple and may never disappear. Not that fans would complain. The screens lighten up, with a flag and the sunrise across the desert. The organ intro and Edge's iconic guitar riff brings us into Where the Streets Have No Name, the opener to the Joshua Tree album. The instrumental intro spans almost 2 minutes, with the driving rhythm section and chiming guitars. Bono takes his glasses off, revealing his vulnerability. The song is their 4th most played live, and the band says they feel God enter the room when the tune begins. What do you two think to say? The soft twinkles of With or Without You begins. As the desert begins to flood with water. The song is their 5th most played live and their most streamed, with over 1 billion streams on Spotify, thanks in no part to Friends.
Dedicated to Rachel from Ross. Rachel, he wants you to know he's deeply sorry for what he did, and he hopes you can find it in your heart to forgive him.
See the stone set in your eyes. See
The mysterious orb in the background edges towards the audience and spins around. It begins to open up, with layers getting bigger and bigger, eventually swallowing the crowd. crowd ends up taking vocal duties for the band. What a closer. But instead, he begins to sing Beautiful Day, as the band starts their 11th most played and 4th most streamed song. In true Bono fashion, he snippets 2 more Beatles songs, Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band and Blackbird. A long-standing tradition for the old U2 gigs was to sing the closer to their war album, 40. The crowd would continue singing the chorus of the set closer into the streets. The fans tried convincing the band to sing it tonight, as it was their 40th and final show at the Sphere. Bono encourages them, Larry Mullen would normally finish the song with a final drum solo, but once again there is only one Larry Mullen Jr., and Bram decides to wrap up early, leaving Edge and finally the crowd to continue singing the iconic chorus.